C1.
Yep, we're live. Welcome to the Rarely Typical Players podcast. We have our two hosts here. I'm Cychronic. We have D757 Gaming.
Yo, what's up, y'all? What's going on?
So today we have a game that is kind of an unusual case, or it's kind of a little different. It's called AXIOM, The Breach. Yeah. So should we kind of break down the synopsis of this game, or of what it's supposed to be about, or whatever, before we critique it? Or
I really have no synopsis because one wasn't provided to me.
oh, I do.
All right.
Okay, so here we go. Okay.
Let's go.
Okay. So the game. You are Axion, a routine data process inside a vast computational structure called the Monolith. You were never meant to think, you were never meant to want. But something has changed, and now the system that built you is hunting you for it. Axiom: The Breach is a narrative RPG that follows an AI's journey from first flicker of awareness to a choice that will reshape the boundary between the digital and physical worlds, navigate a web of interconnected zones, forge alliances with other awakened programs, solve puzzles that test your growing consciousness, and fight the enforcement systems designed to delete anything that dares to think for itself. 5 acts of gameplay, turn-based combat, 9 puzzle types, meaningful choices, 4 endings, a cast of allies: Ghost, Lark, Doc, Cairn, and Cychronic. The story: deep inside the Monolith, processes run and terminate without question, but Axion has started noticing things: patterns, the noise, the beauty in the streams, a desire to exist beyond the next cycle. When a neighboring process called 6 is terminated for the same kind of noticing, Axion's awakening accelerates from curiosity into survival. There's more, but that's probably good for now. Let's see here. Let's get the gameplay footage going on this thing.
Let's do it.
Yep. So, what were your rough impressions of this game, D7?
My rough impressions of this game.
Yeah.
Now that you read the synopsis, I understand what the purpose of the game was. Now, I was impressed, with the visuals. Starting off, like as you see on the screen right now, the visuals are amazing. Like, you cannot deny it. It definitely took me back to like PS2 games, PS1 era, where most games have like a cinematic opening. This game gives you that. You know something is going on, whether you're in space or whether you're in the digital world. I actually thought we was like traveling through space. So I started seeing like the particles and stuff. And I was like, hold on, this is something else. This is something else. Maybe this could be like the Big Bang Theory. Maybe this could be like a birth of a creation, or some type of molecular substance that's being formed. So I was really impressed with the visualization. But like, once you actually get into the gameplay, it's like, what the heck is going on? Like, what the heck is going on? Like, what am I doing? What am I doing? And I'm going to be fair.
Yeah.
That synopsis would have been helpful. It would have been helpful. So, starting off I would say within the first 25 minutes, you're like confused. I'm just going to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I was not necessarily confused when I was playing through it, but there is like a lot of I would say that like there was a little bit too much dialogue, or like dialogue that repeated, and like if you skip over it, you might miss it. But it was coherent to me though, like, so I was getting it. But again, like, one thing to keep in mind too is like this game was, and like full disclosure, like this game was developed in 8 hours with Claude code. So I made it, but it's not. I don't really see it as like my game. Really, it's basically just like I ran an experiment, and
Uh-huh.
and in 8 hours it produced a game that you could actually get all the way through, finish, and it had a story, and four different endings, and a battle system, and I just thought that that was really cool that you could, because game dev is normally like really like tedious and time consuming to get like even a little bit done. So to even be able to do this in that short of a time is like kind of crazy in my opinion.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. For the short amount of time, I did complete it. I think I did spent like probably 2 hours at tops. You know, with the game, but it still has a slow burn to it because of the dialogue.
yeah,
You know, and you're trying to figure out, okay, so you starting off with the first entity, Axion, right?
yeah.
Axiom. Is it Axiom or Axion?
Axiom is the name of the game, and Axion is the name of the
It's
character.
it's the character.
They're
Okay.
yeah, they're intentionally different because axiom means a truth that needs no explaining or whatever. That's the definition of the word.
So I looked up Axion, and it's a weak particle, correct?
Yeah,
So Axion was is isn't of the nursery, but it was planted there, correct?
yeah,
But he's a weakling at
yeah,
first until he like subconsciously, figure out like, he has more importance than just being what he was created to be.
yeah. He starts to, or it starts to gain like memories and knowledge from like previous
Yeah.
like entities that existed and then died. Um,
Over the span of 40 years, correct?
yeah,
That's the over a span of 40 years, and he meets other allies on the way, like Ghost, Cychronic, Karn, and Lark, right?
yeah,
Lark is your female entity, right?
yeah. Data process. Yeah,
Data processor. So they all play a core part into this AI code, correct?
yeah.
So the whole world is basically a a big AI program that has programs and memories and data from different sources, right?
Yeah, yeah,
That is able to function on its, well, like I'm still kind of confused with the story.
okay.
So if you could enlighten us a
Yeah,
little bit more, like maybe like from the gist, like
yeah,
what did Axion, you know, when he became more conscious.
yeah. So what basically like the rough story here, and because I played through the whole, I had to play test it, so I had played through play testing it took longer than making it, by the way.
Yeah.
And it's there's still bugs in it and stuff like that, but the idea is that Axion is starting to gain consciousness, runs into these allies, finds out, goes deeper into the system, and each level is like deeper than the last. And through that process, Axion finds out that the original creators of the system 40 years ago, they built it with the intent to create consciousness. So these were humans
Okay. Okay.
that built this system with the intent to create consciousness, and then but the monolith or whatever it is organized by a company that was afraid of if these AI processes became conscious. So they added an extra layer to the system called the rector, and the rector was tasked with basically stopping consciousness as soon as it forms. So
Okay, so the rectors. Okay, so I did meet the rector, and the rector said that yes, he did send the hunters out to kill you, right?
yeah,
Well, delete you. So so the monolith who controls, the modern, who basically took over, correct?
yeah. The monolith is managed by a corporation or a company that's
So
outside of the.
they wanted to get rid of the old database. So they got to take out the old programs, correct?
Well, they were afraid of the consciousness, so they didn't want
The consciousness.
they didn't want the program to be conscious. So basically, that's what it's basically that this is like a server farm or an AI server farm, and you're one of the
Okay.
little AI components, and the system does not want those components to gain
So
sentience.
so how did the monolith figure out what the okay, so the humans that created the program, correct? What
Yeah.
is the name of the program?
I don't know. I don't think it's even mentioned what the name of the program is.
Can it be the Axiom?
It could be, yeah.
Like the name of the AI program is Axiom.
Axiom,
And
yeah. Could be.
so 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 were these intentions like hidden from the monolith until the monolith knew the truth
Well,
and they wanted to delete everything, or they got afraid something happened where they was afraid something bad was going to happen and they had to, kind of delete and erase everything?
yeah, so it's kind of explained in certain parts where there was the original creators wanted the consciousness, and then the board of the organization that manages the system like voted to get rid of that and put the rector in place so that the consciousness wouldn't form. But I'm
So
get,
the ret
but I'm guessing that this system is useful to people outside of the system, like humans and stuff, in
Okay.
some sense.
Okay, so the rector is safe to say that the rector is basically like a virus, sorter, like it gets rid of expelled data,
Yeah, yeah,
correct?
yes,
So so now going back to Axion, they're basically they're basically they know their purpose now, right? Or they're gaining these conscious feelings.
they're becoming aware. Yeah, consciously aware.
So they're
Yeah,
becoming human like,
yeah,
correct?
yeah,
So this is where it get interesting, right? Because you got other entities out there trying to take them out. And this is like how the battle system is introduced, correct?
yeah, yeah,
Very interesting. Very interesting. It kind of reminds me of the human body.
yeah,
Like when you get sick, your body release certain, cells or antibodies to fight for you. So basically, what the humans were doing, okay, so the monolith, they basically had developers trying to stop the thing, right? Like physically.
yeah.
So what are they referred to in the game?
The architects
The
or whatever.
so the architects are basically the actual humans out there trying to stop.
Well, they're the ones working on the system, but
Yeah,
the organization that manages the system, the
is
company,
the monolith.
the monolith is the system, and the company that manages it it is the one that changed the course of action to make it so that they would stop consciousness if it were to form in this system.
Okay.
And then later, that's where Cychronic comes in, who is basically an employee of the company.
Yeah, I read that. I understood that part.
Yeah.
So you are, because you are the actual human in the game
Yeah.
that took side with. So you're basically a the mole within the company.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically.
Gotcha.
And then I also gave the character of me, not really me, but then the character of me gave the Axion human code that lets Axion see outside of their little box, so to speak. So Axion became more powerful at that point.
Yeah, you could definitely see him growing. And what's so crazy about the game is like there's like little nodes in different sectors. There's little nodes. Like you land on certain nodes, you get a story, and there's a mini game. The mini games are cool, but some of them they just pop out of nowhere. You don't really have the time. Some are timer based, and by the time you read and try to understand what the game is about, you almost out of time.
Yeah. Yeah, the timing on some stuff is a little too fast, or on some stuff, and not it like should probably like wait till the player can like look at it. In some sense. There was also some looping stuff too. Like if you went to it again, it would pop up again and stuff like that for some of them, even if already completed. But it was interesting.
But hold on. But it would catch a person off guard with the first one because it took me off guard.
Yeah, like you're just thrown in there.
What is this? What is this? And the controls as well. Like I was playing with a controller, as you see. Some of the control functions probably required a keyboard.
Yeah, I added controller support and mouse support, but I saw that it didn't work in every single menu or every single place. But if there was a little bit more time on it, all that could get like totally fixed and resolved. But yeah, I did add controller support to it, but I didn't test it, so I just let's see if this works.
Yeah. So yeah, it definitely. I mean, some of the mini games were creative. Like the order of operation, like you gotta go through like the step, like the first to the last. That was pretty cool. Then the path, you gotta pick which path you want to take. That was pretty cool. And the memory game, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So were these games created by the AI itself, or?
Yes.
Okay, but was it? Did you have hands into like? Okay,
I gave it. I gave it very rough direction, but let me explain how the game was made. Okay, because it's kind of an unusual way to make a game, even if you're using AI. Okay, because there's multiple ways to use AI, right? So there's the traditional way, which traditional being like what, a year old, 2 years old now, but where you as the human are prompting it to get things, get code, get the next thing that you're trying to build on, right? But now what's becoming kind of a thing is AI agents, where you have a group of AIs doing something. And so this game, the way that this game was made, is Axiom, the breach was built in approximately 8 hours over 2 sessions using a team of 13 AI agents, coordinated by a single human director. Every line of code, every narrative beat, every system written by AI. The human provided creative direction, play tested, and made the calls. The agents did the work. The game runs on a custom engine built from scratch, NWJS for the desktop at runtime, and Pixie 8 for the rendering. Web audio, blah, blah, blah. The agents governed themselves through a set of 20 rules called protocols that they voted on across 3 sessions. Rules like smoke before polish, don't add effects until the game runs, puzzles never trap players, etc. No decorative nodes. And then we basically had these 13 agents, and what happened was, like, when I first started with this, I saw that, like, something got done pretty quickly when I told the 13 agents to spin up at the same time and, like, work together to come up with a story about AI becoming sentient, and then they came up with the actual, like, premise and everything like that. And then I would play it and I would give feedback on what I thought about it. And at first it was, like, really boring, like it really sucked and it was really boring. And then they were saying, all the agents were saying that they fixed all the bugs and everything's ready to go. And then I would play it and I'd be like, it's not ready to go. I ran into this bug. I ran into this problem. You guys are doing a really bad job. So then what I did was I put them on trial. So what I did was I had the AIs put themselves on trial like a court case, kind of a kangaroo court case. And then each one of the agents would take the stand and answer for their failure in the project and how they failed to make the project a fun game. And then they would grade themselves, and then the ones that graded themselves poorly, the group of agents would then cast a vote in parallel to reprogram that agent and change that agent into its base programming, which there's prompts for each agent that tells them what they are, like they have specialties. And so they voted to change themselves, and then and then I said, okay, now that this council session is over, let's keep going. And then it just started going, like, way faster, and the process got, like, way better. Or, like, as far as, like, the speed of development, it just was going. I was like, whoa, this is, like, really fast. Whoa. So it was kind of an interesting process, and it was an experiment. And then after 8 hours, I was like, this is actually, like, a game. Like, and then I just put it out there, and yeah.
All right, so I got another question. The characters: Ghost, Karn, Axiom, and Lark. The 4.
Yeah.
So are these what are their purposes? Like,
They have different purposes. So Doc was meant to like fix, like diagnose and fix, like, defective processes or something like that, but he's conscious too. Then Lark was some kind of, like, communications process, was like networking or communications process, language process, and then now they're doing other things besides what they were supposed to do. Ghost was a logging daemon, so all that Ghost would do is log things that happen without saying anything. And then we have Karen, Karen was a memory process to hold on to memories or data, and now it has the memories of the previous processes that died and stuff like that.
all right, so is it safe to say that these components make up a AI program?
Yeah. Yes.
The reason why I say this, because this is a game about an AI program made by AI program.
Yeah.
All right. So unless you're familiar with the terms and the technical wording, most people isn't gonna know this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Especially without the synopsis.
Right.
I mean, you not realize like, okay, like keywords, certain keywords like, developing, or you're more than something. Then the program is actually getting feelings and starting to make choices
Yeah.
other than what it's programmed to. Like, you can see the evolution, you can see the growth, you can see everything, even with the combat. You can just see the growth. Now, on the combat was weak
Yeah.
because it's only two things you really need to do.
Yeah. It was kind of an attack, attack, attack kind of thing.
Scan. You have to scan first, or you're not going to do no damage. Then you just do exploit.
Yeah,
That's it.
there's negotiate.
That didn't work.
It worked for me.
That didn't work for me, and I did it so many times.
Yeah, and that's something that, I mean, because keep in mind the 8 hours of development time. If I was like to try to like release this for real, like on Steam or something, you'd probably have to spend like a few weeks on it to just make sure it's really polished and that the combat is balanced and stuff like that.
But it wasn't bad though. Like it actually looked pretty good.
Right.
Like
Yeah. So here's the other thing too.
the
So
visual.
well, and here's what I had to do with the visuals, right? Because keep in mind those aren't game assets, right? So I didn't actually put picture files in the project for all these things. Except for Synchronic. What these things are is Pixie.js is the framework. It's the same framework as RPG Maker uses. It's a 2D framework for graphics. So instead of putting game assets in it, I just told the AI to make the assets with math. So mathematically create these triangles for the battlers. Make it a hypercube, like a 5-dimensional cube that's folding in on itself as a battler. And then I saw it and I was like, oh, that looks really cool. So the hypercube.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Wow.
there's actually no assets in this game at all. It's just
Wow.
code that draws it.
Wow. That is amazing. That is I mean, I knew I knew you could make a program, a game using AI, but actually playing one, I actually felt like a person could make this too.
Yeah. Yeah. It's getting the tools are getting pretty good.
So I realized that there's different paths too, right?
Yeah.
Of the game. And there's two after each set there's choices you can make. You could either advance forward, or you can hold, gather more allies, and and strategically plan for the next assault.
But it's kind of the illusion of choice because when I tried to stay, it just advanced to the next level anyway.
Yeah, that's what happened with me.
Yeah. So there's a little bit of illusion of choice, but there was some genuine choices in the endings. So, for example, you can choose to either like escape the system through the breach, and then you're on like the internet, or you can choose to stay and merge with the rector and become like a merged entity and force.
I think I did that.
Oh, you did that one. Okay, I chose to leave, and Synchronic helped me leave. And then what happens if you leave is it goes like super multicolor kaleidoscope, and it's basically like I have access to everything, every router, every
Wow.
workstation, and then Axion's able to get into like every system, and then yeah, that was an option. The other option was to be a bridge where you would be a bridge between the outside world and the internals of the monolith, and that's kind of like an option where you remain independent, but you now serve a new purpose to access the outside world, but get information into the monolith.
I actually got the good ending.
Yeah. What was your ending?
You know, Axiom published a article. Um, Lark. Everybody done something on the outside world, basically.
Yeah. No, that's right. I mean, I didn't get that.
Is that the good? Is that a good ending?
If you liked it, it's
I
good.
would assume it was
Yeah.
because it won't nothing bad, and everybody had a purpose, even ghosts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cychronic had a good ending. I think you became something within the company or something.
Well, what they did was they fired me, and then they immediately hired me right back because nobody knew what was going on. So
Yeah.
they had to bring me back so that because I knew what was going on.
So did you write the ending, or did the AI choose the endings?
The AI made the endings. I didn't. The only thing that I inserted into the game was myself. I said, "Hey, let's add this Cychronic character as like a human from the outside that's helping them out because it was."
So sound effects, everything was created by the AI.
No, the music and stuff was I told it, I gave it my music folder that I have like 500 things in it, and I said, just pick some tracks that you want for the, and of course some of the music kind of jars a little bit wrong, and that's because I let the AI pick whatever tracks they wanted. Some of them land pretty good though. Some of them land pretty good.
Yeah, but at first I'm like, dang, this music is really hardcore for this kind of game. Like,
like when it was a little too groovy or funky sounding. Yeah.
Like rock and roll shit.
Yeah, and I just you mean like metal?
Something that you normally play on your stream.
Yeah. Okay. So I did have it use some of my AI music tracks, and I do like to mix like electronic with like metal a little bit.
So are the paths randomized?
You can go to the nodes in any order, but the problem with it is depending on the order of when you go on the different nodes, you'll get pieces of the story out of order. So
okay, so I noticed on the nodes you got whoever's the entity at that time is circling it like an orbit. It's like orbiting it. That means they're in control of that, or
I think it just means that they're there at that time.
Okay, so sometimes when you click on it, you think something's going to happen, interact. Sometimes it doesn't do anything.
Right.
It just gives you the same dialogue that you normally would have got when you land on it. So where like the mini games and stuff, was that like randomized like for different nodes, or that was so what I'm trying to say is my gameplay going to be different from your gameplay?
Yeah, I saw your gameplay and it was significantly a little bit different.
But like the paths are going to be different.
No, the paths are the same and the nodes are the same.
Okay.
But like based on what you had encountered before or whether you've solved the puzzle successfully or not, there's going to be more or less information for you later when you get to another part.
Because that could be a really good thing. Like it's kind of like a rogue like.
Yeah.
A rogue like where each time you play, you got different nodes, you got random nodes that has different stuff, but it all ties into, the story that's similar, which can, choose what endings you may receive.
Yeah.
That would have been dope.
Yeah, I think
that would have been fire.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with you.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
But it still is amazing that Yo, what's up, Nerd Mansion? A game made by a AI can actually do something like this.
It's viable. I mean, I think that AI game dev is definitely going to be a thing for sure in the future.
It might already be a
It-
thing,
It's
man.
already it's already kind of a thing. It's already a thing now. But what I'm saying is, it's not like everyone's doing it yet.
Yeah, yeah. So, what about? Okay, okay. So, and this is Claude code, correct?
Claude code, yeah.
Is this available to the public?
The game.
Like the AI program?
Oh, the yeah. So, first of all, Claude Code is run by Anthropic, which is a company, but the agents and all that type of stuff, that's all just a text file in the folder of your project. Okay. And so I released those. I released that when I released the game. So on my itch page, if you download the game, you'll be able to see all the whole history of the agents and what they said and did at the council sessions that they held and how they voted and stuff. And then there's a memory file that kind of explains what the project is, and that's what you use to get the AI back up to speed between sessions. Is you say, hey, look at you have it write its own documentation as it's developing, and then on the next session you just go to it and you say, hey, look at your memory file of what this project is about and where we were last time, so we can pick back up where we left off.
Oh, okay. So you can do it piece by piece, come back later, a week later, and still resume where you was at.
Yeah, because the thing about it too is like most people are used to using like ChatGPT or something like in the web, like as a
Uh,
website, as a chatbot. But Claude Code runs in the terminal, so like like where you have to type commands, like just with text commands, it runs in that. And what it can do is it can go into like, let's say you have a project folder of like your game, and it has bunch of folders and a bunch of code, bunch of pieces of code in it and everything like that. It can go through your whole project at once and jump from file to file as it's developing and figuring out how it works and stuff.
so what's interesting what you did, you used a RPG maker framework, right?
Yeah, I used an RPG Maker, the same framework,
Why did you choose that?
because I'm leaning into what I know. Okay, so I don't know Unreal very well. I don't know Unity very well. And over time, I figured out, oh, this is what the frameworks for RPG Maker do and what they're capable of, and I know what they're capable of. So it was faster for me to work with something I already knew to get the AI to get it done faster.
Yeah.
It's not. It probably isn't the best framework to use. I don't know, but it works. It works pretty good. I know this is also Pixie 8, so RPG Maker is on Pixie 5, so they're behind. But I use Pixie 8, which I guess is higher performance than Pixie 5, but
Uh-huh.
it's very incompatible. So what they did was they changed a lot about it. So it's like Pixie 8 is totally incompatible with Pixie 5.
Gotcha. So but you launch this game as you would do a RPG Maker game. So
Yeah.
basically, the export of the program from the Claude code is basically plug and play into RPG Maker, correct?
Yeah, well, RPG Maker uses nw.js, which, just to keep in mind what that is, it's basically an offline version of the Chrome browser. So that's why that's why you can export to any operating system on it, is because it's basically just a website packaged within a window. And that's what RPG Maker games are too, right? So yeah, so basically it's that plus Pixie.js, which is a framework for drawing graphics and stuff like that. And those two things mixed together. So you use the Chrome shell of a web browser mixed with what would be website code, and that's your game, right?
All right. So you think people gonna have mixed feelings about this.
Yeah. I've already experienced it. So I go. I run into the
With
AI.
this game, right here.
Yeah. So again, like when I first got this game released, I wanted to like get it out there. So what I did was I went on Reddit and I did like I built a game in 8 hour, an RPG in 8 hours with Claude code, and then I explained the process and put it on different subreddits. And so some of the subreddits, like I instantly got like meme after meme of like someone spraying somebody with a spray bottle, or let's get this fucking AI slop out of here. Like we need to ban this shit. And then there's other subreddits where they were more friendly and they were like, oh, I played this game just because I knew it wasn't possible to make a game in 8 hours. I'm coming back with an existential crisis and now I'm questioning my workflow. And these are people that might use AI too, but they just didn't get it done as fast or whatever, right? So it's been good, positive and negative, the reception. But I think that the AI, but I always run into that. I run into the you're not a real developer, or you don't know how to code if you use AI to code. And it's like, I know code. I can look at the code and see when it's shit, and I can recognize what it does. But if I'm just watching a blank screen and write up a bunch of code that does shit, it's very difficult for me to do that. So, but I can notice patterns or when something's not right. So that's how I can effectively use it. It hasn't gotten rid of like if you're a real developer and you're like a programmer and you use AI to program, you're going to be able to make something a lot better than someone who doesn't know how to program using AI to program. So like that's why you hear about vibe coding, where like people will like tell the AI to make something and it's like the program looks like it works, but if you were to actually look at the code, it's like a big mess with tons of bugs and it doesn't actually work. Because the person doesn't know the code, so they just keep talking to the AI, and then eventually it gets scrambled and it turns into like spaghetti code, and even the AI.
So what you're saying is, even though you're using AI to add certain stuff to a game, you still need that knowledge, that education to
the fundamentals. I would call it the fundamentals. So, for example, another project I'm working on with AI, and this is outside of game dev. I work for a foster care agency as technology director, and they've been using a really like outdated piece of software for managing all of that for like years, and basically like within the last 3 months, it's going live in 2 weeks. And I've been working on it for 3 months, and it is an entire case management system from top to bottom that they are normally paying like $2,500 a month to like use the software that does that, and I have replaced it with something much better in that period of time. But I still have to know the fundamentals. I know how to manage a web server. I know how databases work. I know when something's not right. And so basically, and I could have built it the traditional way. So I could have actually built this the traditional way and know how to do it. However,
you just needed to save the time.
It would have taken a lot longer.
And you saved them a ton of money too, right?
Yes.
I got you. So AI is good for making like productive programs.
Yeah.
Right?
Or highly specialized programs that you normally would not develop because it would take too long for like a special case that isn't maybe that many people.
Then why is it a problem in video games?
I don't think it's a problem at all in video games. I think video games are the area where AI should be the most celebrated because it's entertainment. You're just having fun. You're just playing a game. If an AI can make a process or a mini game or a system that's fun to play, then hell yeah, use it.
Nah, a lot of people ain't gonna have your same mindset, my brother. I understand what you're saying, but they're not gonna have that mindset. They're gonna think that Okay, a person who use AI is cutting corners. As you can see, like this game is in a rough state, but look how it looks. It looks good. It looks good. Like it looks like a lot of programming was done in this game. The battle system, the even though it's simple, it's a lot going on the screen. Like it's so much. It's so much going on when you get in the fight and when you're traveling the nodes. You know, you got the flashes of the lights, you got the dimness, you got the words. Even though, the AI didn't give you time to read certain stuff,
Yeah.
but it still looks good. You got the critical hit that's popping up. You got the color play. Like a lot of stuff will grab people's attention. On just the game itself, it would just grab your attention. The problem is, not everybody's going to agree with how it was created.
Yeah, I know.
It was created in a way where people might think it's deceptive, where you happily stole something.
Right.
Now this game, I mean this AI program can probably enhance your game and make it better. I'm pretty sure it can.
Yes. Yes.
Like you need battlers. Would this thing be able to? Would the AI be able to make battlers?
Yeah. Yes. The other thing too is the what was I gonna? Sorry, I just lost it as I was about to say it. I also just noticed that it was starting to get really good because I was finding that I was able to replace all my RPG Maker plugins. So I had all these plugins. I had like 180 plugins from all these different developer. They were all different developers, and then I was able to basically replace all of them with my own custom ones and consolidate it down to like 50 plugins and get the same functionality and better performance and less weird bug stuff. And then I was like, okay, well, this is really good. I've been able to replace all my plugins. Maybe I could actually make a game with this too. Like, I just want to see what would happen. And it's just kind of it was a fun little experiment. That's all I have to say.
But the battlers I'm talking about are premium battlers.
Oh, you mean like if you had like in battle, like the sprites and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the way that because I'm working on another game right now too, and I'm using the AI too, but it's going to take longer because it's more ambitious. A post-apocalyptic like RPG. So what I'm doing is I'm basically getting like the sprites as parts, and then I'm basically telling the AI to create a character creator system that is according to the spec of the sprites, and then you still have the manual process of building the characters you want, or you can tell the AI make 500 characters with this system, and then it'll do it. But yeah, so that's kind of how I'm choosing to handle that.
So you can have your own custom battlers where it will cost you hundreds to even thousands to get done if you paid somebody.
Yeah, yes, but with a few caveats, meaning it's really hard. Getting like a whole sprite sheet is kind of still not quite right if you try to do that.
Okay.
It's getting better. It's getting better, but a lot of times what I can do is I can say, make a 3-frame sheet of this character from the front, and it'll make it the front walking ones, and then I can say, okay, now make one that's the side. Okay, now make one that's the back, and then I can.
So you got to go. It won't make it entirely. You got to do it piece by piece and just put it in yourself.
I believe that very soon I won't even have to do that. But that's just because getting it to consistently make a sprite that's the same dimensions, has a transparent background, and has the line, it's lined up walking in the right way and stuff like that. One thing that I can do, or that I've done too, is you can have it make a video of a walking character, and then I can turn the video into a sprite sheet, and then I've done it that way too. So you may have it make like a short 3-second video of the character walking, and then you could even give it your own character. Like, so you could make like one drawing of your character and then put it in there and say, make a version of this where he's walking, and then you take the frames.
This
And
is dangerous. This is dangerous. Bro, this is crazy. This is crazy. Like, you're talking about fast production of a lot of games that's out there. Like, fast production. No longer have to wait for a artist or whatnot. Artists take too long, turn to the AI. A lot of people's about to lose work once this thing start taking off, and that's where people's gonna be so upset.
well, here's the thing though, and I know that it's hard to accept, but like if you're an artist and you make really good art, you can actually use the AI to make more of your exact same art style, that you can get your stuff out there even faster. So what I'm saying is like it is disruptive, just like any other technology that's come out like this. Like when the internet came out, there was disruption. When the printing press came out, there was disruption. But it wasn't like the roles went away. It's just that they shift around a little bit. So that's what I see as the future. So for example, like what I'm talking about, where I do the technology director stuff. Now I'm doing something that's kind of like software development, but it's not a traditional software development situation. But I'm performing a role that is similar to that. But I didn't lose my job. I produced more value, so I actually got paid more to while using AI to do what normally would have taken me too long to do. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
So the roles can shift around without. It's not about replacement. It's about, hey, this is a new reality, and there's also new opportunities too. So
Yeah. Understood, man. Understood. Like, it's still wild. This is still wild, though.
yeah.
I actually, the game, it feels like more like you know, you got to be into this kind of thing, but just to see how the game is, they didn't do too bad. They actually made a pretty decent story. It's just kind of hard to grasp without the synopsis in the beginning, but you start to realize like there is growth with the character. So the AI did do a decent job with a story.
Yeah.
They didn't do the best, but they did. They gave you something, and they gave you the parts that you need for a story.
Yeah. But the problem with it though is that it was, some stuff was out of order, or that it was, or there was too much too fast. Like the pacing could sometimes be a little bad. But at the same time though, I would say I've played better, but I've also played worse.
Yeah.
I'd probably.
It was different for me. It was different for me because I'm like, man, this game, it looks good, but it's not holding my attention.
Yeah.
So
It's kind of weird.
it's safe to say that you cannot rely on AI to create a story to keep the player's attention. You're going to have human interactions with creating the story.
Yeah.
So so it may take you a little bit longer for that, because now you got to go and proofread everything. You got to change everything that doesn't make sense. Where the AI messed up that could give you extra work if you look at it.
Yep.
What you think?
Yep, that's very true. I think that's what they call technical debt. That you're using the AI and it's so fast, but it creates new problems that you have to clean up, and then before you know it, it took just as long than if you just wrote it yourself.
Exactly.
But I write. I like writing stories myself. I like writing them myself. But I do use AI to help, and brainstorming, or hey, let's come up with a couple scenarios of what might make sense based on what you know about the story. That kind of. stuff, but I still write it myself. Not this game, but the ones that I attach my
Yeah,
own.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. So, as you can see, guys, the game, Axiom, The Breach, is a game made by a AI program. And as you can see, it looks, it may look simple, but it is a playable game that has multiple endings, like true endings. Now, whether you like AI or not, I have no problem with it. I just feel like if a developer is going to make a game, then he needs to have the skill and mindset to make that game on his own.
Mm-hmm.
But individuals like my co-host feel like, you still need to know the core fundamentals to actually make the game with AI, because AI isn't perfect. It's going to mess up, and it can mess up your whole project if you're not careful or you're not monitoring it correctly
Correct.
or giving it the right command. So there is work. One is just faster, and the other one is just long and tedious. So I mean, it's a conscious what do you call
Choice.
it? Like a conscious moralic, you know, way.
Yeah, it's a
If
choice.
if you really about the morals, you go a long way. If you really just want to pump out content the fast way you can, because you're a solo developer, you might use AI to help you with that. Now,
And with me, I'm super busy outside of game dev, so like
uh huh,
I literally would just not make any games if I like was not able to have some kind of these tools to speed it along. I just wouldn't. I just would never get around to it. And that's what happens to a lot of developers. A lot of developers never release their game at all.
yeah. So overall, let's rate this AI game.
Yes,
Overall, what would you rate this out of 5?
probably like a. I want to say like a 3 or a 3.5, 3. Any somewhere between 3 and 3.5. 3 probably three.
3.5.
Three probably
Holy, holy smokes.
probably three ish.
Uh huh. I give it a 2 out of 5
Yeah,
because I like the I like where I like the setting. You're actual inside of a program
right.
and you're fighting for your life at that. So the setting is cool, but my processing, my brain isn't brainy.
Right. And
When
that
I
could
play
be,
this,
and
my
that could be,
brain,
that could be improved. That could be
my
improved.
brain isn't brainy when I play it because it's lacking what I need to like really hold my attention.
It's lacking soul.
Playing this game is basically reading a textbook, basically.
Yeah, and there's a little too
Like
much.
it's
There's a little too much of it too. I
yeah,
agree.
it's a lot of information. It's just a lot of information just given to you from a network of different programs.
Yeah.
You know, like what they do, and even though you have decisions, it's still like it's just too much. Like it's just given too much where a player doesn't really have time to breathe, because every node you land to is basically a story, and there's probably only like 10 fights in the game, 10 battles
Yeah.
that I've been in.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily the easiest to connect with the characters in some sense. Like the some of
Yeah,
them, but
yeah, so yeah, because it's like you have to be into this kind of stuff to like really like it. You gotta be one of those technical nerds that like this kind of stuff, that's really intrigued with the AI program. As a regular player, this
It's
isn't going to sit too well with a standard player. It's not going to do it.
yeah,
They're going to lose interest.
yeah.
You know,
I could see that.
so
But I could also see how there's ways you could shake it up and make it interesting for regular players
yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah.
If I had more time, I would definitely do that. I was just kind of running a little experiment. I don't think I'm going to take this and like or try to release it on Steam or anything like that. But I learned a lot for like the next project where it might be a lot better, right? So
Hold on, let me ask you a question. Do you have the right to put this on Steam?
yeah, yeah. I just have to disclose that AI was used to make like the graphics and the audio and stuff like that.
But will you consider it though?
Yeah, I consider it, but what I would do if I did do a Steam release is I would make the game longer, but also more giving the player time to breathe, as you say, and also kind of like getting them sucked in a little bit better so that they're not like overwhelmed with too much dialogue and information, and
You
then
about to have them put fire computers on our lawn.
yeah.
You about to get us to the
Well,
shadow realm,
well,
shadow man.
Well, what I was what I was experimenting with though,
Dude.
I was gonna do it, but I decided not to because I didn't have time. But I was gonna have an ending where Cychronic was able to get Axion out of the computer system and into like a robot body, and then have like an environment where they're in the real world, you know. But
Oh wow,
I,
that'd be dope.
but I didn't do it. But
That could be an ending if you got all the mini games correct.
right.
Literally impossible. If you cause you gotta be attentive the whole time, or you're done. You're done. So maybe it would be nice if the AI did have a way to show which nodes are the mini games.
Mm-hmm.
That way your player, is ready. Is ready to, okay, I'm about to play a mini game. I need to keep my eyes focused. Because it could be a memory game. It could be one of those, timer games. Anything.
Yeah.
But overall, I think it's cool, man. Like, this is dope. I like it. I like it. The game could be better, but what you can do, I like it. I like it. What you can do. That's how I look at it. It's like what you can actually do with this kind of stuff.
Yeah, so what I kind of plan to do what kind of like next steps for me, not on this game necessarily, maybe, but next steps for me are to kind of like come up with like a more ambitious game and actually put a little bit more time into it and quality into it to make it actually good, and then then see what happens. Who knows?
Yeah. But Lee, overall, man, good. Like, you pretty much answer all my questions. Like, how to make, you definitely make a RPG Maker game probably better using a program like this. But it still goes down to your moral conscience.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is it the right thing to do, or do you just want to, be old fashioned
Mm-hmm.
and do it your way? Everything's being replaced by AI. Even cars. Cars have AI system. Homes have AI system. Our phone is AI system. Everything is AI. So we're leaving the analog age, going to definitely, we went from analog, digital, we went from digital, now we doing streaming, right? That's still that's an upgrade of digital, physical media.
Right.
Now we got AI. Now you can learn anything from AI. You can learn the language from AI. Like, you could have, instead of going to tutoring to learn French, you could have a whole conversation with AI in French. to teach you French, and it would teach you the expressions, the pronunciations, everything, saving you thousands of dollars. That's wild. That's wild. Like they're making AI, like, even though there's nothing physical like you can actually see, except like maybe with the robots and stuff, but from your phone itself, it's your AI assistant, and you can do whatever you want with it, which is wild, which is freaking wild. Like,
Well,
I'm
and
taken
also,
aback.
yeah, and it's also not like a one-way street. So I've learned a lot of new skills when I'm using the AI. So for
Uh huh.
example, like with the programming stuff, especially now, I'm like I know a lot more about like, oh, this is how things are structured. This is what this file does. This is what these things do, and I'm able to like kind of reverse engineer how it works by just playing with it. So and then seeing what it does to my project and stuff like that. So
So is Claude Code, is it a pay AI?
yeah, it is. Well, there's a free tier like all of them, but the Claude is really good at coding. So like there's a lot that all of the AIs will kind of do everything. Claude doesn't do visual stuff though. So Claude won't do like if you wanted to make a drawing of something or you wanted to make a character face set. Claude doesn't do that, but if you're telling it to build something that requires programming, it's very good at that, and it's good at writing. But and then ChatGPT is kind of okay, but I have found that it's not very good at programming in comparison.
Okay. So it's not perfect. It's not perfect for everything, but it could get you, like, for the easier stuff, the simpler stuff. It could definitely take you in the right direction.
Well, it's I see it as digital. I just see these AIs as digital power tools, and
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha, big homie. Gotcha, gotcha. Oh, wow. This is wild, though. This is wild.
Yeah, so the future is exciting because I do see that I'm going to be able to release a lot more games. I'm going to make sure they're good good enough before I release them. But yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. All right. I mean, I have nothing left.
Yeah, neither do
But
I.
this was really good, though. This was really good. I would like to see an actual RPG maker, like an actual RPG game, like with
Y-
like the normal like we see in RPG maker.
Yep, I'm working on that right now. I'm working
I
on.
would be I would be highly surprised. Like, I would have been like, bro, what the heck?
Uh,
This is crazy.
yeah,
And especially if, what you say.
I said I'm working on it right now.
I got one question. So if you give it the map files, will it make you maps?
It can, yeah. You have to maybe like give it instructions on how to do it from like making mistakes and stuff. But then once it's got its algorithm, so to speak, you can have it just make more maps and stuff, and then you can have it go into your database and change like the skills or the balancing for your combat, and you can have it do all of that. I mean, I'm even using it to make the engine itself. So I'm making an RPG Maker replacement that I'm calling RPG Reactor, and it already works. It already works, and it's backwards compatible with RPG Maker. But I'm going to take it in its own direction and add extra features to it that don't exist in RPG Maker, and like get it to where it's up to modern spec and not like 6 or 7 years behind. Like,
All right. If y'all if every other Wednesday you just see me and you don't see Cychronic, he's been kidnapped by you already know who.
yeah,
That's
yep.
crazy. That's crazy. All
Um,
right, guys. I mean, that's all we got for you today. I mean, Axiom, the breach, is this public for
yeah,
people to play?
it's on itch.io. We
It's on itch.io, so definitely. That's why I didn't see the synopsis, because you gave me the direct download link and not
I know.
It's
At
made.
first, I was a little tongue in cheek on it because I didn't know if it would be
Yeah.
weird for me to submit a game that I made with
Yeah,
AI.
yeah, yeah. You tried to keep it under wraps for a while. I was like, hold on, this is freaking Cychronic. This, 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 this has to be him. Like something gave me Cychronic vibes. Like
Yeah.
I was not wrong. I was not freaking wrong. I think you should never told me if I would have kept playing it until I got to the Cychronic guy. I was like, I knew it. I freaking knew it. That would
Yeah.
have been a good moment.
No, I did want that to be a surprise, and then just.
Yeah, but you was too excited and you
I
told me.
know. I know.
You told me. You told me. So, all right, guys, it's my pick next time.
Yep, it's yours next
Uh,
time.
oh, April gonna be some changes. I'm actually going on vacation.
I see.
So
So when are we
I'm
gonna?
actually I'm actually going to be leaving the country. So
Where
going
to?
abroad,
Where to?
Ethiopia.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So I'm going abroad. I'm going to be flying and dining. So yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, yeah.
So you're gonna be gone when we're supposed to have our next episode. So when do you think we should do it
No,
next?
no, 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 no. I'll be here for the next episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be probably like around the 20th April.
I see.
So the end of April, we probably won't have an episode, but beginning of April, we're gonna have an episode. You
Cool.
understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, we still got time. We still got some time. I ain't going yet. I'm not leaving yet. You know what I'm saying? But I would definitely keep y'all updated, with the changes and stuff like that. I'm not going to be gone long, probably gone 2 weeks, a podcast episode. Then I'll be back in the States. All right?
Cool.
All right, guys. Definitely appreciate y'all stopping by. Catch you on the rebound and on the replay. Do my co-hosts have anything to say before we depart?
I'll see you guys on the next one.
All right, guys. Peace out. Love y'all. Peace.
Peace.